Hello, my name is Seto Knight, and welcome to my review for the first episode of Resident Evil, the Netflix TV series. And what can I really say about it? It's not good. But again, I've only watched episode 1. This isn't a take of the entire series yet, because I haven't watched it yet. I've only watched episode 1, so this is just the review of episode 1. Before we continue, this is going to be spoilers. So if you haven't watched episode 1, I recommend watching episode 1 and then coming back to this, if you want to come back to this, that is, and see my review. But this is just for episode 1, and I give people fair warning. This is your warning. If you haven't watched it and you don't care about spoilers, that's fine. But if you do care about, here's your chance to disappear. We good? Right. Everyone that stayed don't care about spoilers. It starts off as every typical zombie series ever. How are we going to start off this series? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. Oh, you're still there. Did you think zombie apocalypse, apocalyptic now, end of the world kind of thing? Because if you did, you'd be spot on. Because I don't know what it is with the zombie genre, but it's like, how are we gonna do a zombie story? I know. The end of the world, because they can't be asked to do anything else than the end of the world storyline. Really? But anyway, getting ahead of myself. But actually, no, I'm not, because it literally opens up with the end of the world. Apparently, 35 years since the end of the world. Precisely, in the year 2035, apparently. I might have got the distance wrong, but like I said, it starts off 2035, London. So we're in London, and the world, and it's called, and they specifically say such and such years since the end. So since the end. And you might, yeah, we're starting off with the apocalypse where things have already happened and the world's gone to crap and so on and so on and so on. So we start off with our main character. If you watch the trailer, you know the main character is, again, not really fussed, don't really care. Like I said, actress, pretty okay so far. Again, I've only watched 1 episode. Not really loving the character at the moment, but again, it's just episode 1. Like I said, they've got a few more episodes to, win me over, so I can't really judge that well. That being said, I hate it when they start off with this is what happened before, and then everything goes into a background, like a flashback. So we start off. She's going through the town of London that's completely, abandoned and wrecked, and the typical apocalypse scene. If you watched any apocalypse movie with zombies in it, you know the standing. It's lazy writing, lazy script setting, and everything. And this is not Resident Evil's fault. This is just the entire genre in general. I am sick to death of it. It's like, every zombie thing has to be apocalyptic. It can't be just like a small town or anything. It can't be like what Resident Evil. If you know the games and like the novels and stuff, where in those games has the entire world been overrun by zombies or or bioweapons or whatever comes out of the labs and the viruses that they're in the series and whatnot? It's always been like in small towns, outskirts areas, or places where it gets contained very easily. Yes, the people that live there get wrecked and destroyed, of course they do. because that's, disaster happens and all that. But it doesn't spread to the entire world. It never does, because it always gets wrapped up, even by the government, by Umbrella, by the BSSA. It gets sorted. It never reaches apocalyptic style in the Resident Evil franchise until you watch the movies and the TV series, and then it's the first thing that goes, oh no, we can't contain the T virus, we can't contain the C virus or whatever virus or the Veronica virus, we can't contain it. The world's gone to hell, kind of thing. It annoys me so much, and it's not just the Resident Evil, it's every zombie genre. It's just lazy writing. But anyway, we start off with that. She's run, and I think the main character's called, she's a Wesker. I know she's one of the Wesker's daughters. I know the other sister's called Billy, but I can't remember what the main character's sister. That's how much I really care about this character at the moment. At the moment, I just don't care. Again, that can change. I'm only on episode 1, by the way, kind of thing. She's going around, she's investigating the zombies, trying to figure out if they've got any intelligence or anything. She's been there for 6 months, apparently, and whatnot. And Mike says she's just trying to see if there's any intelligence in the zombies, if they're changing or anything and all that. Which, again, pretty cool, actually. Like I said, apparently they can smell people and everything, so that she sprays something to get rid of the smell, and then obviously they can track them like sharks. They can track blood, so and all that. And starts off. You see some experience. She's trying to do some experience to try to figure it out. Obviously, she gets cut, and the smell of the blood and the chaser, and well, you said she survives, of course, and everything. And then it cuts back to the beginning of when they go to New Raccoon City, 3 months before the end. So we 3 months before the end of the world, or as they're calling it. And obviously, if you saw the trailer, it's them driving into New Raccoon City, going to a new apartment. We see the main sisters. We see Albert Wesker, who, like I said, I'm not fussed that they've changed race colour or anything, or not really fussed, don't care. Like I said, I know the actor who's playing Wesker is a good actor, like I said. The only thing I'm concerned about is explaining how Wesker lives, because apparently the events of the game has happened in this universe and everything. That's what makes no sense, because again, if you played Resi 5, Wesker dies. Apparently we are going to find out how he survives, which is, I'm looking forward to for them to explain that. But like I said, just on episode 1 at the moment. But he's driving his daughters into New Raccoon City, and I kid you not, New Raccoon City looks okay, but it looks like a town that if I was moving into, I'd be getting the hell out of it, because it seems like one of those cult kind of cities where all the buildings are the same. You got the typical families and stuff. It doesn't look like a city. It looks like a prison camp. And I don't mean like an actual prison camp. It does has that feel like you're constantly being watched, and you're just entering the. We are happy families all the time. Yay! Umbrella is good. They're not feeding us drugs. It's kind of that atmosphere. Again, it's weird. Obviously the daughter's not happy. One daughter is not happy. The other daughter doesn't care, kind of thing. But like I said, it's a lot of drama. Now, this is the thing that annoys me the most of this so far. And again, I'm only in episode 1, so it can change. There's too much drama. There's not a much mystery. There's not a much going on. You spend most of the episode with the 2 daughters complaining about the new town. One daughter doesn't care. The other one's a bit of a rebel, kind of thing. And it goes back and forth and back and forth. Then it cuts to a school scene where, for some reason, and I don't know why, there's this weird kid. She's got a hoodie on, kind of, not a hoodie. She's got a beanie on or something like that. But basically, she's got some headgear on, and the younger sister, Billy, is like, apparently she's an outcast kind of thing type of character. She's vegan. She doesn't like murder of animals, like I said, which is again fine. I ain't got a problem with that and whatnot. But like I said, she's one of these characters there. She's, you know, vegan and, you know, doesn't want all this stuff. So she's a bit of an outcast, and it goes to this cafeteria scene where she's sitting on her own, and then this girl just comes out of nowhere, and everyone doesn't like this girl apparently, but like I said, she comes out of nowhere, sits onto the table, and goes. They start talking, and then that's when Billy says that she's a vegan. And as soon as she says she's a vegan, this girl flips and goes, "Well, meat is good. My father took me hunting, blah blah blah," and just absolutely starts railing at her for no apparent reason. And I mean, literally just starts beating the crap out of her for no reason. And everything, and then that escalates, and then obviously the biggest, I'm assuming it's the big sister, comes and you know, splits them up and everything, and then tells the sister that she needs to start standing up for herself and stop, you know, being, you know, a coward and all that. The next day happens. The two sisters walk to the girl that just beat up the younger sister, and you'd think the younger sister is going to say something, but instead she says sorry. To the point this girl shoves her food into her face, which pisses off the bigger sister. Moments later, we cut to a scene where the girl that just, you know, the boy, is in like a, I think it's in the toilet or changing room. Basically, one of those scenes where they're isolated on their own. You get this person that's wearing the mascot's face, and basically beats the living crap out of the boy. Head teacher goes to Billy, calls Billy into the head teacher's office. The dad's there, kicking off, going, "I'm going to sue. How dare this person hit my daughter?" The usual, you know, I'm da. And then Wesker walks in. Billy's dad walks in, and he sits down. And this is the part where, at this point, I wasn't a big fan of Wesker, the character in this, because he just seemed really pussy whipped, and it didn't feel like Wesker. But then this scene happens, and he sits there and he looks at the dad, and I'm not going to spoil it but basically you see the power Wesker's got in this moment, and I'm like, okay, more of this please. Like I said, if you get more of this, I'm all aboard this Wesker. And again, it's not due to gender swaps or anything, you know, not gender swaps, race swaps or anything. Nothing to do with that. It's just at the start of this series, the episode, I didn't feel him as a Wesker until this scene. This scene sold it for me. I was like, I can start seeing Albert Wesker now. I can start seeing it, which is good. I'm liking that. Then obviously it cuts back to. And it ends up with Wesker going to the principal, going, "I'm taking my daughter off for a day. She's not going to come into school tomorrow. Is that okay?" Principal's like, "Got no power here or anything." And you know, yep, okay, yep, okay. So the next day, the younger sister goes to the dad, the Umbrella Laboratory, visits Albert, and she's there. And at this point, she sees these rabbits, and she's not liking that they're being tested on, kind of thing, because apparently Umbrella say they don't test animal tests, but we all know they do, kind of thing, but apparently to the public they don't. And that night she tells the big sister, and they decide they're going to break the rabbits out. They're going to break, you know, they're going to video record the evidence and, you know, and whatnot. So what they do, they steal the dad's card, get a recording of him, because the security in this secret laboratory base is absolutely shocking, because apparently all it needs is face recognition, which they get by that by having flashlights in the hats and stuff, and voice recognition, and they get by that by having a recording of the dad saying, "I am Albert Wesker." That's all it takes to get into this secret Well, it's not secret because it's part of the town's laboratory, but this high-tech laboratory where they're doing all these tests and everything. That's all it takes. Flashlight to cover your face and Albert Wesker's voice command, and you can get in. No problem. So they get in, and they find the laboratory. They start taking video court evidence and whatnot. The sister uncovers a file of something that's happening in another town. Apparently, things are going bad. It's hinted that it's happening again, like basically the outbreaks are happening again, kind of thing, and they're trying to hush it up as they do normally. But the sister's watching that while the younger sister is basically taking video evidence of all the animals in the cages. And then it cuts to one scene where it's this security box. You can hear the mumbling of a dog. You can kind of guess what it is. It's locked, and there's like a temperature thing going up and down, basically. And we all know what it is. It's a zombie dog. It's not alive. It's dead. You can tell what it is even before she opens it. Sister being dumb with the security guard, which goes up, opens the door. Door opens. She goes, "Oh, I just need to take a picture of it." Takes a picture. You see the zombie dog. Zombie dog jumps, and then they basically spend the rest of this episode running away from the zombie dogs. Zombie dog. Zombie dogs, I mean zombie dog, and everything, and like I said, they run around on that. Then it keeps going back and forth between the present and the future. We cut back to the future. The big sister is found by some survivors. I also forgot to mention she gets attacked by the giant worm kind of thing that's from Resi 3. Looks pretty cool. There's bits of it I don't like. There was like the added stuff, but it looks cool. She gets attacked by that, and then some people come and save her and everything. Then it cuts back to, like I said, it keeps cutting back and forth. So it cuts back to the school event, and then it cuts back to the future event. In the future event, basically, she gets rescued by these people, and they explain the situation, that they're surrounded by zombies and everything. She explains what she's doing. Basically, she's been keeping an eye on the Zeros, seeing if they change or anything. Apparently, the Zeros zombies are the carriers of the C virus, and everything else is just when they affect, it spreads and mutates. Apparently, the T virus doesn't kill. Apparently, they say the T virus doesn't kill; it just changes and rewires people's thoughts and stuff. So basically all the zombies are just regular people. You know, it makes no sense, because anyone that knows the series knows that the T-virus kills and reanimates dead body and mutates and stuff. Again, I'm 50-50 on it. It's not bad, but I just don't like the fact that apparently it doesn't kill. But again, they'll go into a bit more detail about it, but apparently she's trying to figure out if eventually people are going to start getting, memories back, if the zombies are going to actually start get smarter and all that, which is interesting, but at the same time I'm like, okay, whatever. Apparently the people that she with betray her. They call Umbrella. Umbrella comes in, basically starts killing everyone except her, and basically cuts off with the bad guy that turns up with Umbrella. They do mention his name, but again, it's not a character's name that I remember, kind of thing. Basically going such and such and such. Then it cuts back to that scene with the dog again, and like I said, they're trying to escape the laboratory, but they've locked themselves in. There's one moment that actually made me absolutely laugh out loud, and that is basically they've just escaped the lab where the dog out. They shut this massive iron steel door, which is fine. And they're like, we can't, trying to figure out they can't get out the main doors because it's locked, and the voice recognition isn't picking up the command to open the door, which is fine. Again, I get that. Then all of a sudden, the zombie dog starts beating down on the door, the metal steel door, and literally bites through. Which again, I ain't got a problem with that. Like I said, they are strong, they are very powerful. So they run into, and I kid you not, this is stupid. They've just witnessed that it's just bomb brewed through a steel door. They've just witnessed it's come through a steel door. So where did they decide to hide? Let's hide in a room with glass doors, shall we? That will protect us. So they're hiding there. They're hiding underneath the table. The dog comes walking past, like running past. Doesn't realise them in that room at the moment because they're not making any sounds or anything. Dog walks around, doesn't find them, disappears. Okay, they think they're safe, so they decide to go out. And as they try to go out, they accidentally activate something. And if you've seen the trailer, you'll realise it's the teddy bear that goes, "We got the joy, 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 joy." It just starts making noise, and the dog goes, "Okay," and basically bursts, goes through. But it doesn't actually burst through the door, so they unlock the door because they think them safe. But basically opens through the door and starts sniffing around, them hiding under the table again. The dog's sniffing around with this joy, joy, joy thing playing in the background. It can smell them because it can smell that them in there, and then it finds that it's them underneath the table, attacks them underneath the table. They run out and escape. Again, they shut the glass door in front of the dog, so the dog's basically trying to get through the glass door, but it's, doesn't do it. They realise they can't get out. They start panicking and everything, and then all of a sudden the dog jumps through the window and everything, smashes through the window and starts attacking the younger sister, to the point the elder sister gets a fire extinguisher and starts beating the crap out of the dog, kills the dog, but unfortunately she's too late, and the sister is lying there pretty much ripped to shreds, and Sumimi dies. It then cuts back into the future where the Umbrella people are shooting all the survivors in this area except for her. And the bad guy comes up to her and goes, We've been trying to find you. Your sister is looking for you." She looks at the guy dead in the face, terrified, and then all of a sudden she turns around. There's this platform here. You got dozens of zombies underneath the ground and everything because they're surrounded by zombies and whatnot, and decides, you know what, I'm gonna jump. And she does that. And that's where this episode ends. That is episode 1 of Netflix Resident Evil. Now, I've missed a few things, and I've gone through things in the wrong phases and stuff because, again, it's all muggled and everything. But this episode is mainly based around drama with the little bits of Resi at the end. I kid you not, if this didn't have Resident Evil in the title, I'd be like, what the hell am I watching? Because it didn't feel like Resi at all. Even when the zombies were in it. I'll be talking about the zombies again. If you ever watched or played, I was going to say ever played The Last of Us with the clickers. They sound like that. When they're running, the zombies are like constantly clicking with the jaws. And I'm like, these ain't zombies, these are freaking clickers. Kind of thing. It's weird. It's just like a pet peeve. Like I said, it's nothing major. Like I said, it still act like zombies and everything, but it's just... But yeah. Again, if you didn't have the zombies and didn't have the zombie dog at the end, and a bit of Umbrella, I'd be like, where's Resident Evil in this? Where? Oh, and the other thing as well, since this is supposed to be in the game canon universe, like the games have happened in this universe, who in their right mind would grant Umbrella the rights to another city and name it New Raccoon City after the events of the original Raccoon City? What government would do that? Not only that, there's no mention of Blue Umbrella. That's gone, because we've just gone back to regular Umbrella. And there's no mentions of, like I said, they mentioned that it's happening again, so they've got, like I said, there's some mention of what's going on with the old outbreaks. But again, it's literally one sentence and one sentence only. That being said, if this is set in the Resident Evil game universe, now if this wasn't, it'd be okay, but because it is, there's a lot of loopholes. It's like, why is this going on now? Again, this is only episode 1, so I'm hoping it gets explained. I doubt it will, because I just have this theory that they just don't care. But we'll see, because I could be. There's 8 episodes, so by the 8th episode, I could be backtracking everything I've just said. But I don't think I will be. That being said, this is my review of episode 1. Again, I'm sorry if it was a bit messy and ranty. But as you can tell, I'm a fan of Resi. And like I said, I don't mind them changing the story. I ain't gonna fuss with that. It's just got to make sense. And to me, this makes no sense at the moment. Again, this is just episode 1, so I could be coming back after watching the other episodes, the other 7 episodes, and going, actually, it made sense. I'm sorry, kind of thing. And if I am, great, I'll be happy about that. But I just really don't think I will, because I'm just sick and tired of them going into the zombie apocalypse and stuff. And I just feel like this is just going to be the typical zombie type of thing with the stamped Resident Evil on the name and umbrella and everything. But again, we'll see. That being said, I am going to carry on watching more episodes tonight, and like I said, I won't be doing another review tonight, but I will be doing the reviews, so I'll look forward to them. That being said, thank you so much. This is Seto Knight signing off. Goodbye.